Revolvers never die. And this year, they're back in the spotlight at S.H.O.T Show 2025. There's something here for everyone, from timeless classics to innovative wallet-friendly newcomers. In this video, we'll talk about 7 brand spanking new revolvers unveiled so far at S.H.O.T Show 2025. You might be a prepper focused on building a reliable arsenal, or a wheel gun purist searching for your next addition. Either way, these revolvers are sure to get you excited. So let's dive right in. Smith & Wesson Model 19 No Lock. If you've been wanting a no-lock Smith for ages, then you should check out this new for 2025 Model 19 without that friggin' lock. The Model 19 built its reputation as a dependable K-frame, something you could comfortably carry while still enjoying full Magnum power. Now, Smith & Wesson decided to honor that tradition by making this version without the internal lock, which keeps the revolver looking and functioning more like the classics. You'll see a red ramp up front, an adjustable rear sight, and handsome wood grips that remind you of an era when revolvers ruled the duty scene. The K-frame has always been a sweet spot for many shooters, especially if you want Magnum punch with manageability. You can slip this 6-shot 357 into an outside-the-waistband holster without feeling too weighed down. Double-action pull is remarkably smooth, and you can cock the hammer for a crisp single-action break that's excellent for accuracy work. Firing 38 special through it, even plus P-loads, is like taking a relaxing stroll, so you can enjoy prolonged range time without beating up your hands. I, for one, can't stand that little lock hole on the side of previous Smith & Wesson revolvers, so seeing a clean frame feels refreshing to me. You don't have to worry about a vintage piece that's been shot out or tampered with. This is fresh from the factory, complete with modern metallurgy and stricter tolerances. Now, nostalgia plays a big part here if you've always admired the classic lines of Model 19. Yet this release is more than a callback. It fits right into modern carry roles, home defense needs, or just plain fun at the range. You're essentially getting a timeless silhouette backed by Smith & Wesson's updates. You'll feel that constant connection to past generations of shooters while enjoying the reliability of something brand new. It's like shaking hands with an old friend who never really left, only now they're dressed in a slightly more contemporary outfit. Smith & Wesson 686 Plus Mountain Gun No Lock. Another revolver Smith & Wesson released at S.H.O.T Show this year is the 686 Plus Mountain Gun with no lock. This isn't Smith & Wesson's run-of-the-mill 686 because it's got the plus suffix, which means it has a 7-round cylinder instead of 6. The mountain gun designation means it got a tapered barrel that trims unnecessary weight. And like the Model 19 I talked about earlier, this one's also free of that internal lock that's bugged many folks over the years. It's still chambered in 357 Magnum, so by default it'll also chamber 38 Special and 38 Special plus P-loads, though the mountain gun configuration does make it feel more agile. The ball detent lockup keeps the cylinder firmly in place, so heavier loads won't rattle anything loose. You can run full-power Magnums without stressing the forcing cone too much, since it's beefed up to handle high-pressure rounds. Tyler Gunworks walnut grips come standard, shaped in a throwback style to help you hold onto the revolver when the recoil picks up. You'll also see a gold bead front sight and an adjustable rear, so you can dial it in whenever you're on the range or venturing off-grid. That 7th shot can be a welcome addition, especially when you're exploring backcountry trails and want a bit more capacity in a fight-or-flight moment. Size-wise, it's still an L-frame at heart, which means it also dampens recoil better than a smaller K-frame but remains more carry-friendly than an N-frame. You might find the balance just right if you're hiking or scouting and need a revolver that won't drag you down. Maintenance doesn't require anything fancy either. Really shows you Smith & Wesson's knack for updating classics without compromising the attributes that made them beloved in the first place. You get tradition, modern enhancements, and a bit of extra firepower all in a single package. Now we're going to take a second to remind you to like, subscribe, and to share the hell out of this video. Your views, likes, and subscriptions are the reason our team can bring you human-created content, created for the weapon enthusiast, homesteader, prepper, and also to the everyday guy just looking to get prepared. Without you, we really couldn't do what we do. So to those of you who have already subbed, and to those of you who are about to do just that, thank you. Charter Arms Coyote 380 ACP. If you're looking for a gentler shooting experience in a revolver format, the Charter Arms Coyote in .380 Auto could check all your boxes. It's a 5-round wheel gun that weighs around 16 ounces, so you're looking at an easy ride on your hip or in a purse. That's a blessing if you prefer a carry gun that won't beat you up with recoil or weigh you down as you go about your day. When you hold it, you'll notice the stainless steel frame is sturdy yet light enough for extended wear. The rubber grip also gives you a comfortable hold, which can help if you're running multiple practice sessions. One of the neat tricks here is that you don't need moon clips for .380 ACP, thanks to the specialized ejector system, a first for any revolver, at least as far as I know. The cylinder is straightforward. Drop your rounds in, close it, and you're good to go. Reloads come just as easily, so range time is less of a hassle. As far as performance, well, shots are mild and predictable. You can manage this tiny beast without struggling. You do sacrifice some stopping power compared to the .357 or .38 Special, but not a lot if you load it with Underwood's 90-grain Extreme penetrators. Besides, it's well-placed shots that count. 5 rounds might feel limited, but if you trust your accuracy, that could be enough to handle most threats that pop up unexpectedly. Another perk is the cost. This thing typically runs around $450, which fits budgets that can't accommodate higher-end guns. Maybe you've already got a stable of full-sized revolvers and just need a more discreet backup. Or perhaps you're introducing someone to shooting and want them to start with a friendlier caliber. The Coyote addresses those scenarios in a neat little package. You won't feel overwhelmed, and you can still rely on good old-fashioned revolver reliability. It's proof that .380 Auto is not just for semi-autos. Henry Golden Boy 22 LR. Henry's foray into revolvers kicked off with their big boy in .357, but they've followed up with the Golden Boy 22 LR revolver to expand your plinking and small game repertoire. You might already be a fan of their lever guns, so the Golden Boy aesthetic will feel pleasantly familiar. It comes with brass touches on the backstrap and trigger guard that stand out, along with American walnut grips that evoke Henry's storied history. You can choose between 2 grip styles, birdhead or gunfighter, depending on what fits your shooting preference. Both offer a solid hold, and each version holds 10 rounds of .22 LR. That's plenty for plinking sessions where you want minimal recoil and plenty of trigger time. Don't worry about complicated teardown procedures either. A button inside the trigger guard lets you slide the crane and cylinder out so that you can keep everything clean without fuss. Shooting the Golden Boy is enjoyable in both double and single action. Double shot is smooth enough to maintain accuracy at typical rimfire distances, and cocking the hammer yields a lighter break for precision shots on small targets. The adjustable front sight lets you fine-tune where your rounds land, so you can ping steel plates or knock over soda cans with ease. It's not the cheapest .22 revolver out there, hovering near $900, but you get American-made construction and a certain heirloom quality that Henry enthusiasts appreciate. If you already have a Golden Boy rifle, this revolver pairs nicely, creating a matched set that carries a shared design language. Charter Arms Double Dog. Charter Arms realized some revolver fans demand more versatility without strapping on a bulky firearm, so they designed and developed a revolver to meet those demands, the Double Dog. It hits the mark as a multi-caliber solution, though it's nowhere near as multi-caliber as a Medusa Model 47. You'll find that this Double Dog comes with 2 cylinders, which allows you to switch between .357 Magnum or .38 Special Plus P and 9mm whenever you feel like it. That dual setup means you can run hot .357 loads for serious punch, then pop in cheaper 9mm for easy range visits. You won't need moon clips either, which is a relief if you prefer simpler handling. Each cylinder holds 5 rounds, which might be fewer than some convertible revolvers, but it allows the Double Dog to stay more compact and easier to conceal. The stainless steel frame is available in satin finish or a black passivate coating, and it features a ported barrel with a full underlug. You might appreciate how the porting helps tame muzzle flip, especially if you're sending heavier magnums downrange. Now, 2 barrels are in the lineup. The 4.2-inch version suits precision work or longer shots, while the 2.2-inch snub-nose model is better for everyday carry. The snubby weighs about 22 ounces, so it won't feel like a brick pulling down your belt. You get fixed sights on the shorter model, along with walnut boot grips for a classic look. Price hovers around $637, which is pretty reasonable for a convertible revolver that does so much. If you've been eyeing convertible Taurus revolvers but want something a little more streamlined and easy to tote around, check out the Double Dog. It might become your new favorite. S.H.O.T N670. German engineering has a certain reputation for precision, and the S.H.O.T N670 confirms that reputation in the revolver world. Pick one up and you'll immediately sense that it's built for performance, positioned between the dimensions of Smith & Wesson's L-frame and N-frame. That means it feels solid but not overly bulky, so it caters to people who prefer a middle ground without sacrificing toughness. S.H.O.T lets you select barrel lengths ranging from 3 inches to up to 6.5, so you can prioritize concealed carry or long-range accuracy. Every part shows careful attention to detail, from the wire cut, hardened hammer and trigger to the match-grade cylinder release. Chambers are individually numbered, and the brand's Neil grips feel comfortable in a variety of shooting stances. You can also pick from different sight options or a black tactical finish if you want a sleek, modern spin. The price starts around $3,700, which might make you gulp if you're not used to typical revolver pricing, which is typically between $700 and $1,500. S.H.O.T also isn't trying to compete with budget options or any production class revolvers for that matter. What they're doing here is they're vying for space in the high-end market alongside Korth or Manurin. Unlike some premium guns that seem built just for display, the N670 is meant to be shot. You can really lean into it during range practice and not worry about coddling it. If you appreciate a mix of custom-like refinement and everyday functionality, the N670 bridges that gap nicely. You're able to tailor the specs to your liking, so it becomes more of a personalized tool than just an off-the-shelf piece. It's not for everyone, especially if you're just looking for a beater revolver. However, if you want a top-tier wheel gun that balances elegance and serious capability, S.H.O.T has your number. Diamondback SDR 357 Magnum with a 3-inch barrel. Diamondback took what worked from its previous SDR offering and added a 3-inch option for 2025. You'll likely find that extra inch delivers a tad more muzzle velocity and a noticeable bump in accuracy over shorter snubs, but it's still compact enough for concealed carry under a jacket or an untucked shirt. The frame is stainless steel, and Diamondback stuck with a 6-shot cylinder for a nice balance of capacity and size. There's a push-button cylinder release, and the rubber Hogue grips help cushion recoil if you're running heavier 357 loads. You can also drop in 3/8 special for cheaper practice or gentler recoil, giving you some flexibility in how you train. The fiber optic front sight stays low enough to avoid snagging on clothing, yet it's bright enough to track under most lighting conditions. You won't have to juggle complicated maintenance tasks because Diamondback uses a captured crane link assembly. Just pop it open to clean and everything remains together. That simplicity can be a blessing if you're someone who wants to keep your gear running smoothly without spending hours disassembling components. The price hovers around $800, which isn't pocket change, but it's still reasonable for a revolver that offers a solid blend of performance and portability. If you don't want a full-sized, long-barreled revolver, but also aren't crazy about the muzzle flip and shorter sight radius of a classic snubby, this 3-inch variant could feel just right. And that's all for this video. SHOT Show 2025 brought us a fresh take on old favorites and exciting innovations across the board. Whether you're into rugged backcountry revolvers, luxury models, or practical concealed carry workhorses, gunmakers are redefining what revolvers can do. But let me know, which revolver caught your eye and why do you think it's any good? Sound off in the comment section below. Make sure to click the like button while you're at it. And maybe share the video with a friend too, so we can keep making more of these for you. Make sure to subscribe and click the little bell icon as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, this is Threat to Survival. Prepare today, thrive tomorrow. Embrace the threat to survival.